Somehow, some way, we did it. This is the final NFL team preview before we can actually just start talking about week 1, week 2, week 3. The NFL season is about to begin. I am really happy that these NFL team previews are over because I've tried to do, at least 2 to 3 every day for the past 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks. Weekends off sort of thing. So it's been busy, but it's something that I wanted to do. It's going to help me in my preparation, and hopefully it helps you in your preparation for the NFL season. Lastly, I would like to mention I'm Chris Farley, aka Farley Bets on X, 2-time Circa winner, pro bettor for 5 years, went up 23 units in the NFL last season. If you would like all of my plays, every top play, for example, in week 1, let me just pull it up here. In week 1, we have we have 2 total bets, 1 bet on a side, 1 teaser, and 1 2-team parlay. If you would like every play from me, Farley Bets, this season, become a paying subscriber. Even as a free subscriber, you will get plenty of insight, plenty of intel. But if you want all my plays, become a paid subscriber. And let me know if you need a discount because I get it. Times are tough. Okay, the Washington Commanders, folks. Arguably the most exciting, intriguing, interesting team entering this season because of what they showed us last season and because of Jayden Daniels. I believe in Jayden Daniels. I also have a few bets on the Commanders that I can't give away on the show because they're just for paying clients, but they'll be available at the bottom of this page. And of course, you can see them if you are a paying subscriber. That said, I got a few bets on this team, and I believe in this team because of Jayden Daniels. I almost said Dayden Daniels. Anyway, this kid is special. He showed it last season. Again, we just got done talking about the Titans, and it is so rare. It is so incredibly special when a quarterback, a rookie quarterback can come in and turn a program into a playoff and Super Bowl team. Now, they didn't make the Super Bowl, but they were a Super Bowl contender. They were in the NFC Championship game last season after beating the Detroit Lions, who were at the top of the NFC during the entire regular season. And then, of course, they lost to the Eagles. That's fine. A lot of that is because of defense. They made some improvements this offseason. Is it enough? That's what we're going to examine here today. But as long as they have Jayden Daniels, just like as long as the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, just like as long as the Bills have Josh Allen, just like as long as the Bengals have Joe Burrow, I think the Washington Commanders are a Super Bowl contender. That's how good this kid is. And it's not fake news. He's poised, he makes great decisions on the field, and maybe most importantly, in the clutch, in 2-minute drives, at the end of games, even if their defense sucks the entire game, Jayden Daniels can keep his team in it and can win the game for you. And it's almost like if there's like 2:30 or 1:45 left on the clock and they got to score, you just believe it's going to happen. I experienced that as a Giants fan when Eli Manning was with us, and haven't had it since. But as an organization in DC, they have to be excited about what they have now because they always have a chance. Last season, they were a top 7 offense in their QB's rookie campaign with limited weapons, and that's very promising. First and fourth down conversions, speaking to the clutch factor, 6th in red zone touchdown rate, 4.8 yards per carry was 6th, top 6 in pass completion percentage, and above average marks across the board in production. Now, the quarterback was sacked a little too much, 22nd overall in sacks allowed. So they're very average to below average in that category. But they did sign Laramie Tunsil, arguably their biggest signing of the offseason from the Houston Texans, left tackle, Pro Bowler, all-star for a long time in the NFL. Now, he's not as young as he used to be, but as long as he can bring the same form that he's brought to Houston for so many years, this is a great addition to an offensive line that needs to improve around him. Still some question marks, but that's a significant boost. They're a very skilled group. They also brought in Deebo Samuel, and we've seen what he can do for the 49ers. He's a game-breaking type of player who can run the ball, catch screens, long ball. He's just a football player, right? He's a playmaker. Deebo looked a little hefty, looked a little thick in training camp and practice, but he still seems fast, and maybe that's a lot of muscle. I think he's a great pickup for them. Scary Terry McLaurin has also been re-signed, so he's happy. He'll stay with the team. He is a true number one receiver. The guy can catch anything. The guy gets open. Not sure if I like that Austin Eckler is their number one running back and supposed to take full reps, but they have a deep running back room, 4 running backs in total. So they're probably going to mix things up there. And of course, Jaden Daniels always adds an element of athleticism and scrambling and extending plays. Also, just want to mention I love that they brought back tight end Zach Ertz, who just seems to have a great fit with the team now. Great dynamic with Jaden Daniels. We saw that in a lot of clutch situations last season, especially in the red zone. Just has a new comfort zone. Still in the NFC East, right? Used to be with the Eagles, so seems to be at home. Now, defensively is where they really need to improve. Last season, terrible in the red zone. 25 points per game allowed, was 22nd, 31st against the run. Now they're better against the pass, 5th in opponent yards per game, and 8th in sacks. And that's overperforming, right? Because they're not the most talented defensive front. They did sign edge rusher Dietrich Wise and cornerback Jonathan Jones for depth, so they're a little more fortified in their front seven. They also kept Bobby Wagner, which I think is a good idea, and they brought over Von Miller, who is old. All these guys are pretty old, but they have old veteran leadership on this team. And Von Miller is a guy who's won Super Bowls. Like he knows what he's doing, right? So they have a lot of veteran experience. In the least, even if these guys aren't up to par anymore, they can teach up and develop some of the other guys around them. So there's just been a lot of chatter from analysts in the NFL community about the experience, the age of their front seven, particularly their linebackers. I'm not as worried about that, right? If they're playing out there, if they're passing physicals, if they're looking good on paper and on film, old man strength is a thing. Now they might not be the fastest anymore, but they can make up for that with intelligence. So I like those signings. They also probably overpaid, but they brought in Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle on the right side. So that front seven is upgraded, and they already overperformed last season. So I like that for them. The secondary is still beckons some concern. Marshawn Lattimore is there again for his second season. He's a great player, kind of the anchor for that secondary. Lattimore. They added safety Will Harris. Good, not great historically, but a nice veteran presence. And of course, they hope that second round pick Trey Amos is going to impress on the other side as their cornerback. So some more question marks for the secondary. I like their front seven. Hopefully the linebackers aren't too slow. But again, Dan Quinn, coming from Dallas as their defensive coordinator, a defensive guy for his whole NFL career, this is what he should be doing, right? Like you got to be Bill Belichick like he was for the Patriots, right? Like you have to be that guy who is complimenting Jaden Daniels, because Jaden Daniels, I don't even know if it matters what they're doing on offense. Jaden Daniels is going to figure it out. But Dan Quinn needs to bring the development, bring the improvement for this defense, bring a Bill Belichick like presence so that Jaden Daniels in the offense doesn't have to be on the field, like constantly catching up, right? Because we saw that many times last season. The schedule's hard, right? The NFC East has a tough slate this season. The NFC East is obviously tough. The Giants are better. Phillies is not going anywhere. I think the Cowboys are better offensively. I don't know about defensively. They also face the AFC West and the NFC North, right? So we've been over that with all NFC East teams. They face those two divisions, which are arguably like if you're in the NFC East and you're facing the AFC West and NFC North this season, you're facing the 3 toughest divisions in the NFL, in my opinion. So it doesn't get much harder than that. They did luck out with some of their outlier opponents, Atlanta, Miami. Washington could certainly beat them. And I give them a rating of 83. 83 says they're a very good team that could be an elite team, right? Like my best teams are 90, 91, 89. Because the Jaden Daniels factor and what he can do for this offense and the way that we have to view this offense now with him there is completely different. Their defense brings it down a little bit. Like I could go sub 80 if I wanted to, if I really didn't believe in this defense. But I'm choosing to believe in Dan Quinn that he can bring some intangible coaching development to this defense and that the guys they brought in are going to make an immediate impact, at least somewhat, right? It didn't get worse. It got a little better, okay? The win total is, I believe, 9.5. I don't know how I don't have that in front of me here. Where the hell did that go? Sorry, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's 9.5. Anyway, I don't have a bet on their win total. I do have some other bets on the Commanders. I lean to the over, even though it's really hard to do that, right? It's hard to. That's why I'm not taking the bet either, because this is a really tough schedule, right? So the winner of the NFC East, I think this is not going to be the case. I think the Eagles probably win, and they're a double-digit winning team. But the winner of the NFC East might just need 9 wins. You know, if you get to 10 wins, you're probably there. But this is tough. This is a really tough slate for any team in the NFC East, and it's really tough to pick an over for any program because of how tough their schedule is. That being said, really on both sides, right, offensive line and defensive line, although I like the additions on their defensive line and I like what they did on their offensive line, those are question marks, right? Like Pro Football Focus puts them in the bottom third, bottom half of the league on both fronts. That's the biggest question mark. Coach and quarterback matters the most. Quarterback really matters the most in the NFL, but the fronts are important. Your offensive line needs to protect you. Your defensive line needs to disrupt the passing game and stop the run. That's still a question mark for this team. They're probably an 85, 86 if I feel better about that. Again, a team that's very exciting. I think could go very far this season because Jaden Daniels is there and he ain't going anywhere. Thank you so much, guys, for being here with me for this entire journey, every NFL team preview. I like the way we kind of organize this, right? We talk about the acquisitions, we talk about offense, defense, we get into the schedule, and it's all within 10 to 15 minutes. Many of these have been under 10 minutes. Hopefully you find that refreshing from an NFL marketplace and an NFL industry that is so oversaturated. There's so many opinions. There's so much information. We like to be straight shooters here. All we're interested in is winning you money and winning contests myself. But right here on Substack, we love this. We love this medium. We love talking to you. And I can't wait to get to week 1. Guys, we are 1 day away. It is Wednesday, September 3rd, around noon that I'm recording this in the East Coast. And it's here, baby. NFL is back.